All signs are officially pointing to Kyler Murray starting on Monday Night Football in Dallas. And it's the right move. It's more complicated than that, but it's the right move. Let's discuss.
You are Locked On Cardinals, your daily Arizona Cardinals podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
On Cardinals, Alex Clancy here. Follow me on Twitter, Clancy's Corner. Follow the podcast at Locked On AZ Cards. Thank you for making Locked On Cardinals your first listen, free wherever you get your podcast and on YouTube, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. So, hope everybody had a nice week of no Cardinals football. Everybody needed a breather. Everybody needed to get back to square one. Everybody needs to get their equilibrium reset. And now, welcome back to the madness, baby. Okay, so this is what we're going to do today. It's going to be all Kyler Murray centric, all quarterback centric, all coaching centric, all rolled into one. So what should the offense look like on Monday night? Because anybody that's watched these last 2 weeks compared to the weeks prior, they look like completely different teams with completely different offenses. We'll discuss that in the final segment. Is it the best idea for it to be Kyler Murray until it's not? And by until it's not, production-wise being benched. We'll discuss that in the second segment. And also, to kick this off, it says on the overlay on YouTube, last chance, ? It's not just about Kyler Murray with this decision. It's about the coaching staff. It's about the GM. Not saying last chance for everybody or they're going to get fired, but it's like, is this the last chance that all pieces of the puzzle right now, is it the last chance for all of them to make it work together? We're on year 3. The injuries have been superfluous at this point, have been ridiculously prevalent at this point. But I'm never one to blame injuries. And as I said before the season started, nothing's slowing this locomotive down. Either it's going to work or it's not. I don't care who gets injured and who doesn't. And while that was under the positive guise of nothing can stop this team in 2025, the message still remains, just unfortunately, with a different, meaning now. Is this the last chance for Kyler Murray? Not week 9, but the rest of this season? Yes. Is this the last chance for Drew Petzing? Yes. Is this the last chance for Nick Rallis? No. Is this the last chance for Jonathan Gannon? Probably not. And is this the last chance for Monty Osborne? Absolutely not. But what does this last chance look like? And why is Kyler Murray the no doubt about it guy that you got to start? Why it's the right choice? Why it may not be the rational choice from the last, 120 minutes of football that we watched with Kyler Murray hurt against really good teams? It's the right choice. You ready for this? Hashtag analysis. Because it's the right choice. And here's the thing. I promise I'll talk more about that. It's not the only choice. If they decided to start Jacoby Brissett, it would make rational sense from a purely just visceral and in a vacuum, reaction. Like, it would make pure sense because of what we saw the last 2 weeks. They lost both games. So that's not the most fantastic argument for that. But it would make sense because the offense looked better. It just did. I've always said, which is what, over the course of 2 weeks now 3 weeks because of the bye, the floor is higher for Jacoby Brissett, but the ceiling will never touch Kyler Murray's ceiling with Jacoby Brissett at quarterback. It just won't. And I think that's pretty rational. So for all of those saying I'm a Kyler lover and that I'm not understanding what's really happening and I'm stupid and all that stuff, first of all, love you. I do actually. It's the right choice because he's the guy who's the franchise quarterback. He's the guy who makes the money, and he's the guy who really, and this is twisted and sick and gross and also true, he's the guy that gives the Cardinals the best chance to come out of this hole and make the playoffs. He's the Raiders guy in the fourth quarter. He's the Hail Murray guy. He's the 4 game-winning drives led last year guy. And while, sure, he had a massively integral part in putting the Cardinals where they are now, he's still the guy that can do it. And I said, and I stand by, that from what we saw the last 2 weeks, Jacoby Brissett should be starting for this team. He gives them the best chance to win. That's where I failed. That's where I was incorrect. That last sentence. If he would have won these 2 games, 1-score games, he would have won them both. I'm saying Jacoby Brissett's got to start. But he didn't. And whether it was him or whether it was defense or whatever it was, it didn't happen. So you're rolling back to Kyler. You're probably rolling back to Kyler anyways, but I don't think Jacoby Brissett gives the Cardinals the best chance to do what they need to do to make the playoffs. And while that sounds rationally insane, like objectively lunatician, Darren Lewis, it's true. He gives them the best chance to make that push they need to save everything. Because we've seen it. We haven't seen it strapped together. We've seen it in parts. Now you just need to take those like a Mr. Potato Head and put them on together and have that be the last 10 games of the season. They play really difficult teams. It is the scariest environment imaginable. And he's the one that could actually get it done. If Jacoby Brissett was that guy, he'd be a starting quarterback elsewhere. And that is not taking away from anything that Jacoby Brissett does for this team, what he's done production-wise the last 2 weeks, throwing the ball almost 100 times and having this offense hum. It's not an indictment of him in the slightest, man. Not even close, not even a whisper in the arena about it. But you need a Hail Mary. And Kyler Murray's that. So it's kind of a backwards way of saying your franchise quarterback gives you the best chance to win. 5 losses, 13 combined points. This isn't a Kyler Murray gushing conversation. This segment specifically is not. This is a what grouping gives the Cardinals the best chance to go on a wild run. It's Kyler Murray, a quarterback, because he can do special that Jacoby Brissett can't. Sure, the floor is lower, but the ceiling is far higher. And at this point in this season, with these stakes on the line and this pigsty that they've left for themselves, it's the only option. It's the only option. Now, with that said, is it the best idea to do that? Now, while it would seem repetitive for me to say that's what needs to happen and that's why it's happening, for me to say it's not the best idea would seem like my personalities are fighting with each other, but it's more in depth than that. It's more in depth than that, and I'm excited to talk to you about that next. This episode of Locked On Cardinals is brought to you by our friends at Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss on any of the excitement of this sports season, whether you're following the NFL, NBA, which is just off to a wildly, wildly fun start, or both. There's no better time to jump in on the action. If you haven't tried it yet, Prize Picks is the simplest way to play. Just pick more or less on at least 2 player stats, and if you get them right, you win. It takes less than 60 seconds to make your lineup, and you can play anywhere Prize Picks operates, including California, Texas, and Georgia. Like these, so you pick more or less 2 to 6. If you cash, when you actually cash out, withdraw to your bank, it can take less than 15 minutes at times. It is the most streamlined way to do what Prize Picks does so well. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code LOCKEDONNFL to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONNFL for $50 in lineups after your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. Today's episode is also brought to you by our friends at Rougiette. Let's be real. Making excuses doesn't solve everything, and we've all heard, all of them before. It's just stress, I'm tired, or it happens to everyone sometimes. But when it comes to performance, Sometimes your body just needs a little extra support, and that's where Rougiet comes in. Rougiet.com offers fast-acting, doctor-prescribed treatments for ED designed to help you stop making excuses and start making moves. Rougiet makes it super easy to get started. You connect with a board-certified doctor, 100% online, no awkward waiting rooms, no in-person appointments. And if prescribed, your treatment ships discreetly straight to your door. The process is fast, simple, and private, and it's all handled by real doctors. It's about confidence, connection, and getting back to the moments that matter. Visit rugiet.com/LockedOnNFL to get 15% off your first order. That's rugiet.com/LockedOnNFL. And don't forget to use code LockedOnNFL so they know we sent you. Rougiet, stop making excuses and start making moves. Please go to the YouTube channel, search Locked On Arizona Cardinals, hit that subscribe button, turn notifications on so you know when my big dumb face is spewing big dumb things out of it. Now, if that's not the best promo for my show, I don't know what is. Kyler Murray starting until he's either benched due to performance or otherwise is the right move. It was the right move, 5 weeks in. There was no talk about him. Like, if they beat Tennessee, which they should have, oh boy, that was the worst loss I've ever seen. That may be a worse loss than anything we've seen anything we saw in the Cliff Kingsbury era. I don't care how much they lost by, whatever it is. That was the most unhinged way to lose a game against a team that I had no business being even in competition with. After going up 21-3 with 8 minutes left in the second quarter and then not scoring a point the rest of the game. Is it the best idea to roll with Kyler and go down with the ship if you go down with the ship? I'm going to I'm going to take it for a loop. Does it matter if it's a good idea or a bad idea? The toughest thing to sell in the world of football, I guess, or any professional sport, when you're in a situation like this, is trying something new over putting out the best product. Kyler Murray is the better quarterback of the two. His floor is lower, his ceiling is exponentially higher. Now, while the last 2 weeks have shown the other side, that's more for the big picture. That's more for the future. They're not trading Kyler Murray. Okay. I firmly believe two things that contradict each other. One, Jacoby Brissett has shown that he makes this offense go more effectively for 60 minutes than Kyler Murray has shown this season. Okay. So with that, it would make rational sense to start Jacoby Brissett moving forward. I believe that. I also believe it's the wrong move and they should be starting Kyler Murray. Both can be thought because they're on completely different. It's like Westworld with 4 different, timelines or whatever. They just make stuff up and they're like, oh, you didn't know that all along? Well, go rewatch it. Go watch the fan fiction. Go read Wikipedia every episode, whatever it is. That's kind of this. It's like, it doesn't make sense that Jacoby Brissett should be starting and Kyler Murray should be starting because I made arguments for both. And I believe both. But when push comes to shove, you started with Kyler Murray, you will end with Kyler Murray. If they don't put up 25 plus points against that Dallas defense, this may go in the trash bin this entire show. Because for the first time in Kyler Murray's career, he actually has pressure to produce. And pressure, well, he makes 46, shove it, okay? Fine. He's a quarterback. That's what quarterbacks make. Okay, it's just what it is. It's just what it is. Well, he's stealing. No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not. The revisionist history is real because they lost to Tennessee, and partially rightfully so. But you take Kyler Murray, you go down with the ship. If they put up like 13 points against that Dallas defense, maybe a different conversation come Monday night, a week from now. Is it the best idea to roll with Kyler Murray? First, does it matter? No. Second of all, yeah, it is. This is Jonathan Gannon and Monty Osborne could have taken other jobs. They took the Arizona Cardinals job, a wildly, perennially dysfunctional organization, because they saw a franchise quarterback who had an ACL tear, who they both really liked and wanted to coach and, manage or whatever Monty Osborne's direct role over Kyler Murray is. Oh no, they just wanted their first head coaching job and they wanted their first head coaching job and their first GM job. And nobody else was offering them that, so they took the Cardinals one. I don't think that was this. I think it was directly correlated to Kyler Murray. So he's their guy. I don't know if he's Drew Petzing's guy anymore, but he's their guy. So is it the best idea? Yeah, it is. It's the best idea, even though I 100% think Jacoby Brissett should be starting because of production. Overwhelmingly, for the story and for what it's been since the end of the 2022 season, it should be Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray or somebody else are end-of-year conversations. You're not trading Kyler. You're not benching Kyler unless they look terrible against Dallas. Even then, you're not. This is going to get a lot worse. This could get a lot worse because of the teams that they're playing against. It could get a lot worse. So for now, this is the right call. It's the best idea. Absolutely. I'm not saying that I think Kyler Murray gives them the best chance to win on a down-by-down basis. I'm saying that Kyler Murray is the one who can be special enough to get them out of their hole. Both can be true. And you have to go for the higher variance option at this point because they're 2-5. So is it the best idea? Yeah, it is. Do I think they should be starting Jacoby Brissett? Yes. Both can be true. This is the big brain stuff you come to Locked On Cardinals for, or to call me an idiot for, whichever works. I'm happy with either. It's also the best idea for the coaching staff, not just for the team and for, their chance of winning games. This is truly the trial run for Kyler Murray on his future with the team. Oh, they should have traded him years ago. They never should have paid him. Let's just chill with those comments. You can go to other outlets for that. We're too smart here for that. Come on. This is the final trial run. 10 games to see if he's got any place with the Arizona Cardinals come 2026 and beyond. At this point, and I'll do more about this tomorrow, but I'll give you a little tip, a little piece today. I don't even want it. They just got to be on the in the hunt overlay by week 14. That's the next, and I've talked about this years ago. Everydayers, like OG everydayers will know this reference. I used to love driving to San Diego. I used to drive out and forth, to see my friends, and my dad's still out there. Because I used to love the drive because there were checkpoints. It's like, okay, I know that there's this gas station in Dateland on the 8. That's a checkpoint. And then you get to El Centro. That's a checkpoint. So it's cool. It's like, all right, I'm through 3 of 7 checkpoints. I know it sounds stupid, but it's a way to chunk down a 6-hour drive. That's the next checkpoint. In the hunt, overlay on whatever outlet there is in week 14. If they're in the hunt, we potentially have some magic. The problem is, if they're in the hunt and they win 9 games and barely miss the playoffs, then you're having is Kyler Murray coming back in 2026. Which is going to be so fun because they're going to get close. It's just what Arizona sports teams do. Locked On Cardinals, your team every day. What should the offense look like with Kyler Murray starting on Monday night in Dallas? We'll discuss it next. This episode of Locked On Cardinals is brought to you by the Game Time app. NFL season is back and here and thriving. But there's nothing better than being in the stadium surrounded by fans cheering on your team. But let's be honest, getting tickets is a pain, man. It's a hassle. Long queues, login screens. price jumping with, hidden fees at checkout. It stinks a lot of the time. But that's why I use Game Time, the app that gives you the advantage back to the fans. Game Time is fast, easy, and backed by the Game Time guarantee. You'll always get 100% authentic tickets delivered on time and at the best price. Plus, all fees are included, so the price you see is the price you pay. I talked about this, last week. The reason why I recorded shows early last week and played on Thursday and Friday was I went to Austin to see Jim Gaffigan with my mom. It was a bucket list for her, flew out, and we got the tickets on Game Time. It was so easy. It was so easy. And even for her, who's, a little bit older, she was able to maneuver around. I had her search Jim Gaffigan, and she found the city. And then there were just little arrows to where the tickets are and what the price is. You click on it, you buy, and they're in your wallet. So all you do when they're scanning tickets in front of the venue, you pull up the Game Time app, go to My Tickets, boop, scan, done. It was a super seamless process. Download the Game Time app today. Create an account, use code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, that's promo code LOCKEDON NFL for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download Game Time today. Today's episode is also brought to you by FanDuel. NBA is back, baby. There's no better place to get in on the action than FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Even if you missed the start of the game or want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. It keeps every game exciting, especially when your team's making the late push. You want to jump out early and get in on some early odds for who's going to win NBA MVP. Is it going to be Luka? Is Anthony Edwards going to make the push through? Is it, Victor Wembanyama going to win it in his third year? Like, there are so many different options, and FanDuel's got you covered for all of it. Right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. So head to FanDuel.com to sign up and play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Again, please go to the YouTube channel, search Locked In Arizona Cardinals, hit that subscribe button, man. What should the offense look like? The Jacoby Brissett one. I'm rolling that playbook out because Kyler Murray can make the throws that Jacoby Brissett made. He just hasn't. We've seen him make them. This needs to be. And when I say the Jacoby Brissett offense, what I'm more specifically talking about is pass attempts. Okay. I know Kyler Murray's thrown the ball between 30 and 35 times a game before. I know that. The depth of target, while diminished late in both of those games in Green Bay and Indy because they were doing more screen passes and stuff around the line of scrimmage and not just hucking it like they were on third and long, the depth of target needs to be more than 4 yards or 5 yards. That's where I want to see the jump. I want to see more throws down the field. I want to see more chances taken. I want to see more of the beautiful deep ball that Kyler Murray throws. Let Marvin Harrison Jr. and Michael Wilson go get him. Let Zay Jones go get him. Let them do their job as a receiver. That's the offense I want to see. I want to see more chances taken. I want to see more risk. I want to see more higher variance throws that are thrown in the vicinity of the talented pass catchers that the Cardinals have, peppered in with some Greg Dortch magic in between the tackles. That's what I want to see, or up the seam, I should say. That's what I want to see. I want to see a run-second offense, especially against this defense where everybody's hurt. Micah Parsons played the Cardinals 2 weeks ago and not a week from today. I want to see what the best passing version of Kyler Murray looks like in this offense. And if that means he's got to roll outside of the pocket, if that means they've got to move the pocket, roll the pocket out, whatever it is, I want to see that offense. And this isn't like a screw it, guys. Season's over. Let's just try and, pad the stats for Kyler. That's not this either. I want to see when everything is going wrong. The back, I hate cliches, but, their backs are up against the wall. Jacoby Brissett is breathing down Kyler Murray's neck to be the starter for this team. I want to see what Kyler Murray looks like in fight mode. I want to see what he looks like in fight mode. Don't think about week 10. Don't think about week 11. Don't think about, the in the hunt overlay in week 14 as the checkpoint. Just leave it there. I want to see the vintage 300 plus total yards, 4 total touchdowns, Kyler Murray, and I want him to huck it. That's the offense I want to see. If we see this conservative baloney, we're going to be having different conversations about who should be starting in week 10. So I know that I kind of put you guys through the brain blender, easy for me to say today, where I think that Jacoby Brissett is the best option for this offense. And also that Kyler Murray should 100% be starting. Both can be true. I'm not rocking between sides of the fence. Both can be true simultaneously. Kyler Murray gives this Arizona Cardinals team the best chance to rise like a damn phoenix. He does. And it's not going to be pretty. It could be ugly, but then it's going to be absolutely magical at the same time. So when you look at what's happened, them stewing during the bye, Kyler Murray coming back healthy, this is the stage. Of course, it's serendipity because it's back home where he's never lost. But the very, very raw, true fact is, if the Cardinals lose and they put up like 20 points against this bad defense, you can throw this entire podcast in the dumpster. This show, not the whole thing. I've worked really hard at this. We'll leave that for far down the road, a week from now. Jacoby Brissett 100% should be starting, and it's the right call that Kyler Murray starting. Both are true. Locked On Cardinals, your team every day. Tomorrow, I will lead off. Zaki, here you go. Tomorrow, I will lead off with what's the line to run it back? Because I think it needs to be discussed. There was no football talked about last week, so we're doing some hypotheticals starting tomorrow. Remember, without you, there is no me. I'll talk to you tomorrow.